Hi, hello. Hi, hello. So this is a new video on scaling SRM. It's actually coming from a question from Catherine on the community that is quite interesting. I thought that it was a classical case on scaling SRM, and actually it's one of the special case. So I will explain all the thought process I went by, and because hopefully it will help also for others resources as well. So what Catherine wanted at the time was to skin the all categories we see here. So we'll begin by identifying where all categories is. So like other videos, I will use Firebug and see what is in all categories. So as you can see, it's here, all categories, and so you've got an ID, a class left, and well, that's all. As you can see on the right part of Firebug, you've got all the style CSS that is applied to the div. So we show only the one applied. And you can see you have got the left here, and also all the other properties that are applied. So some of them are inherited from breadcrumb and body. So for example, the font family, the font size, the color doesn't come from left, but does come from stuff that are before, basically. So we'll begin by seeing where you can get and modify this. So as you can see, it comes from the link from SRS Service Request Console resources, CSS categories.css. So the first instinct we saw in the other video was to go on the SRM.jar and try to find the resource, basically. So I already exported the SRM, and what we are going to do is well, try to find the categories.css file. So it's here. And when you open it, you find back all the properties you could find on the Firebug. So for example, here the div breadcrumb holder. You can find back the breadcrumb holder here. So it seems it's this one. If you want to be sure, you can right-click on the file and open a new tab. And you can see that, for example, it opens the CSS, so you can see that it's document new category and well, some text, and you can find the same text here. So we found the CSS. That's the first thing. Now the problem is if we go back here, the problem is we see that everything, the font, let's say I want to change the color from blue to red. If I want to change the color from blue to red, that means I have to change in the breadcrumb color, breadcrumb holder. That is here. The problem is that breadcrumb holder is generic. It means that if I modify the color, it will impact possibly a lot of other div or spans. So what would be best is to dedicate a new class for this all categories. So we need to find, for example, here we have got only the left that justifies the text to the left. So we have got to find where is this code, the div ID selected category, so we can add to the class left and a new class. So we need to select the text, and using our friend Notepad++, we are going to find where it is stored into the jar file, because it should be in the jar file. So we search and we find it. So it's in a template, resources template, and you can see we have got two of them. There is a special case, but we don't really care. So we have got all categories and the class left. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a new class that we will apply with the left. So we will call it LMA color. We save, and we need to create the class with LMA color. So we are looking for something with color in it. So we will do a copy paste. I will put it here. Oops. And I will put the color red. That's the only thing I will change for now. So I changed, I created a new class, LMA color, and I added this class with the left. So we should have both left and LMA color applied. So like we saw in the other videos, I will build back my the jar file. Okay, I will upload the jar file into the right formula. By the way, I'm using 8.1 patch 1. So I'll delete the old one. Well, first I will do a backup. Okay, so I'll delete the old one, save, upload the new one, save, and now I have to stop Tomcat, empty the folder plugins cache once Tomcat is stopped, launch again Tomcat, I need to empty the web browser cache and see if it works. So I need to log in again. Oops. And it's not working, it's not in red. So why it's not working? That's the part that is interesting. So perhaps there is something I did bad in the jar, so I will inspect again the code, the all categories. You can see that it seems the jar was successfully uploaded because now I got left and LMA color in the class. So the jar was successfully uploaded and used by iOS. But if you are looking on the style on the right, you can see that you don't have the LMA color in the list. So let's try and open in the new tab the CSS, and you can see that in the CSS we don't have the LMA color. So I could try and force a refresh, but it doesn't change a thing. So why doesn't it work? So the second solution, so perhaps the CSS is not in the jar. That can happen. Because we have got another solution. The other solution is to search into the form AR system resource definitions, where some CSS files are stored. And you can see we have got like 4 of them. But obviously we don't have the categories.css, but this one has categories.css. So we think, okay, it's the right one. So I will do a backup again of this one. I will save it. And I will open it in Notepad++. So, surprise, surprise, we have got the same file. We have got a new category on Guelo. It's exactly the same file. So that means that the categories.css is at least 2 times in ARS right now. First in a jar, second one in AR system resource definition. So okay, why not? So we take our code here and put it into the new one. Okay. So we delete the old one. We add the one we've just modified. We save. And since it's here, we don't have to flush actually, or we just have to force a refresh on the web browser. So basically only emptying web browser cache should be enough. But just to be sure, we are going to flush cache. Okay, so we'll do this by the book. We log out. We empty the web browser cache. We log in. We go back to request entry. And we'll look if it's working. And it's not working. So let's see again with Firebug what happens. We still have the left and LMA color, but on the style we still don't have the LMA color. So if we open the categories.css, we see that there is no LMA color, and I can refresh all I want. So, but I don't have the my new class. So it's not here. It's still not here. So it's in the last place actually. That is a place that is used by BMC. It seems it's there to actually modify some properties that are in the jars, but you can do it directly onto ARS, so you don't have to open the jar and modify the jar. It's in ARS directly, but it's in the form that is not that I didn't use for now. So I will open this form. It's the form data visualization definition. So data visualization definition, and actually to identify it, I searched, I captured API and SQL, and well, I just saw what it was doing, and so here it's looking for something named SRS, Service Request Console, and we can see that we have several of it. And we have got provide info.css and categories.css. Some information, some CSS files, because here we still have the categories.css, are in IRS directly. So it seems that instead of going and opening the categories.css that is in the jar file, it opens this one. So it's a special case because usually when you have got an URL like this, SRS request console resources CSS categories.css, usually that means that it goes into the jar. It looks the data into the jar. So this is a special case where, as you can see here, you have got SRS request console resources CSS categories.css. It looks first, it seems, in IRS, into data visualization definition, before looking into the jar. I didn't test if I deleted this entry, if it went to the jar file, but well, it's not really the point right now. So I will save these categories to disk. Once again, I will make a backup. So this is the same the file I just saved, and you can see so it's exactly the same as the other ones. So I will copy my new class, add it to the categories.css, delete the old one, add the new one, save the record, and like we did before, we'll do a flash cache. Ah, it's already doing something. Well, let's try without flashing cache. It should you shouldn't have to do it, so it should be okay. But we will empty the web browser cache and refresh the page. And you can see that it's in red this time. So if we continue to analyze it, so we still have the left and the LMA color. And this time you have got the LMA color that is found into the categories.css. And if we open categories.css in a new tab, we can see that we have the LMA color this time. So this is a special case. So if you try to modify a resource into the service request console, and it goes actually, it's using something from categories.css, like this one. That means that you don't want to alter the file in the jar, the categories.css in the jar. It's a special case. You have got to alter it into the form data visualization definition, because it's took from there and not from the jar. Actually, what we could do. So okay, so this is the answer to the question, and well, I hope it's okay. Have a nice day.